I'd like to welcome you to my video. My name is Maxwell, and I've been over the past few weeks making content on data analysis. Today I felt the urge to run through the bike data that we used for those of us who went through the Google Data Analytics Professional Certificate, the bike data that was provided in that particular capstone which terminated that course. Now it is a business analysis approach, and I'd like to take a look at this data in the course of this video and the many more videos that will follow. I actually have got 22 key activities to perform in the course of this video. And on that note, I'd like you to jump in and come along with me while we delve into the job. Now, if this is the first time you have encountered my videos, I'd like to call on you to please support me by subscribing to this channel, liking the video so that the YouTube algorithm will be able to show it to as many people as possible. And also, if you will share the video, I will be very much appreciative of that, because that will also make it possible for more people to have access to it. So let us jump right in. Task in R. In this project, there are data having to do with bike data in a particular company over in US, United States of America, that runs business of bike rental. Now in this activity, we have the data for 12 months, as you can see, January, February, all the way down to December. And then the task is to pull all of this data together into one data frame in R, and from there we begin to carry out business analysis, check all the checkables, and then come up with a data-driven insight to help the business owner to proceed. So in order to call the file that I have already prepared, I do this often just so that save time, and at the same time also be leaving the link to both the data and this script, the description of this video, so that you can download all of them and be able to go through them and practice. And if you have any questions for me, leave your questions in the comment section of this video. So to start, my name is Maxwell, and please, if this is the first time you have encountered my video on this channel, I'd like to invite you to please support me by giving me a subscribe. That is to say that you should hit the subscribe button. At the same time, like this video, give me any useful comments on how to improve the quality of this content that I share on this, as well as share the video with your friends and family. This will help the YouTube algorithm show this video to as many people who will need help in this area. So I already have the data opened. So, and if you follow me in my previous videos, I have told you one of the first things that you need to do is to set working directory. To set working directory is to use the command set wd quotation mark and the file location, or if you like the memory location where you want this data to where you want this analysis to be operating out of, meaning that is where we have the data stored. Let me go over there for you to see, so you can see that it is in a subfolder called cyclic all the data are located here, and the file is as well saved in this location. Now, having set the memory the working directory, the next thing you will need to do is to upload all of the data from that particular memory location into this space called R Studio. So I will hit on this. I'll run that code. I have set the memory location, and to import data, you will need to assign a name to the data you are importing, and then use the function called read.csv. Now we're using read.csv simply because these data are in the a comma separated values format .csv. So that's why we've used read.csv. Generally, February, March, May, all the way down to December, we use the same command, and the file names for each data set for each one are all spelled out in this location as I showed you previously. I'm not just going to now highlight all of this and hit the run button. Wait for the program to upload the data into the space. Alright, so while we're waiting for it to upload into the space, the next we will need to look at is we will need to convert the certain columns such as ride ID and rideable type to characters so that they can stack correctly in case of a situation whereby some of these data sets they are not properly prepared. You have to bring all of them to the same page so that you will not have any issues while stacking them. Now this little button here or icon, as the case may be, is an indication that the program is still working and is trying to upload the data. Mind you, these data sets are running in hundreds of thousands, and this is the beauty of using R. Unlike some other data analytics software packages that may not be able to handle large data sets, R has the capacity to work on data that are running into billions of cases, as the case may be. But in this particular case, we're having about, in total, we're having about 5 million data sets all together. When you bring all the data for January down to December together, you will have up to 5 million, 30 to 6 million entries. This is not what some programming, or if you like, some data analytics packages can handle, except if they are upgraded to do so. Right, so we're still waiting because of that, and right, now that the data has loaded right, we can view one of the, we will just go ahead and view any of the data frames. Let's say e.g. Jan. Right, so we're going to view January. To view January, you use capital letter VIEW as a function called view. Then you type in Jan. Note that I'm typing this Jan. This is now imported into R. I do not need to use the double quotation mark, the double quotation marks. So when I run this line of code, give it a few seconds, and like I told you, it's a very large data set. And as you can see here, there are 96,834 entries. So here is the data set. There is the writable type that I mentioned, and as well as the ride ID, right, which we are going to be using in future. This ride ID, and this is writable type. We now need to convert these to character format, just so that we can have data from all the different ones stacked correctly. Right. So to do the stacking, we come over here and then we call to order the library function called reply r. Then for each month, we mutate the data using the mutate function. Mutate January data, that's data January. Write ID as character, write ID, and separating that with the comma. Writable type also equal to as character writable type. Now when we do this for all of the data, we will have data primed to be able to stack all the way correctly. So let me just run the conversion script, which is this. I click on run. Clicking on run, we will also need to wait a few seconds for it to start correctly. After then, proceed. So now that we have prepared the data in a way that they can be stacked correctly, the next thing now to do is to actually carry out the stacking, and that is to combine all of them into one data frame, and that one will be called Live Data 2021. And we are going to use the function called rbind. What rbind does is that it takes the first data set, which is in this case January, and stack February right under it. Mind you, all of these data sets have the same number of rows, the same number of columns, and that are named or labeled in the same way. So January to December is the data set that will be stacked here, and we're stacking it using rbind. So all you simply need to do is to call the function rbind, and then each of the data you are binding together, you separate with a comma. And let's run it and see what happens. Now as you can see over here again, data is preparing itself to stack together. And so we need to wait a few seconds for it to complete. Nice. Checking over here, you can see that the data, or let's say the line of code, has been processed. Next, let us view what we have done so far, and that is by using the view function. So hit and run and give it a few seconds all over again. Now, ladies and gentlemen, if you are enjoying this particular tutorial, I would like to invite you to please hit the subscribe button, like this video, and as well as share it with your friends, and leave me a beautiful comment so that you can encourage me by so doing. Now the data is opened. We have a total of 13 columns as we had in the January data. You can see basically all of the data frames, which will collapse into one now, have the same number of columns, while January is having 96,844. The combined version of it is having 5,595,063 entries, as you can see. Alright, so we have the we have write ID, writable table, started at, ended at, station, start station name, start station ID, end station name, end station ID, latitude as well as the longitude for start and end. Then we have the last column that says member casual. This describes the type of membership that are using these bikes. Alright, for us to be able to carry out actual business analysis job, we need to create some additional columns from the date column, date time, or let's say from the date time column. Either we use the started at or ended at. We can create additional information that will guide the analysis that we drive inside this particular analysis. So we are creating the dates column, we are creating the month column, we are creating the day column, and as well as creating, we don't need the year column. So, but since we know that all of these data are coming in from the same year, now assuming we were using, we have data coming in from multiple years, we would have also needed to create the year column. Now to do that, we will call in two libraries. That is the tidyverse library as well as the lubricate library. So these two libraries, will call them up, give them a few seconds to load, and then as you can see, the date column, to create the date column, we will need to use the as date function. Now, from my previous videos, I have told you that if you have a data set and you want to create a new column in there, you need to introduce that new column by bringing in the dollar sign and then the name of the column that you intend to create. Alright, so as date function for bike data using the started at column is what we will use to create the date column. For the month column, we're using format function as date, bike data, and the dates. Then for day, same thing happens. Format as dates function again, and the bike data as date. So basically, we're using the as date column which we created just recently for all of these stuff that we will be doing. Now for month, we're using this particular formula of saying double quotation mark, the percent sign, and in small letter. For day, the percent sign, all in inverted commas, using the D for day, but the D is the lowercase. However, for the year, we're using the percent sign and the capital letter for Y, that's uppercase. And for day of the week, we use A. But then for month of the year, we use B. This is how we run this data. And if we are to run all of this now, give it a few seconds, we have it processed, and then we obtain the output. Nice. If you look down over here, you will see that the finished processing. If that is true, let us view what we have done to see if all of the columns that we mentioned have been created. Give it a few seconds. I have a very large data set here, so it's always advisable for us to wait a few seconds. Now, remember that we were having the last column we were having was member cash flow. Now we have the date column. Now we have the month, the day, the year, the day of the year, the month of the year. So that means our code executed perfectly. Then we will need to do something. Next thing we need to do is to determine the length of each ride. Meaning that we need to create one more column called ride length. Now to do that, we need to use the function called diff time. If you like, call it difference of time. And just pointing at it, as you can see on the screen, you can see that it takes account into how many seconds, how many minutes, and so on the ride took. So now we are using the bike data 2021 as we are using. We're checking ended at and started at. That's what we're going to use. So let's run this code. Let's see what happens. Now the if time has been performed and the data has again been created. Let's view the data set one more time. Just a few seconds. And then we have bike data opening up all over again. Now while we're waiting for it, guys, I would like to please call upon you to please support this channel. Support this channel by hitting the subscribe button. Share it among your friends as well as well-wishers so that we will continue to bring you beautiful content such as this. And please, while watching this, endeavor to please allow the adverts that pops up every now and then to play a little longer than 5 seconds before you skip, because that is how I raise money to support the channel. Thank you very much. Nice. So having run this code, let's view the data and see if our column has been created. So we move over, as you can see the data is displaying now, and boom, the column for ride length has been created, and this is showing in seconds. Now one of the things that we need to do now is to ride casual description of the users. We are going to change members to subscribers and casual users to customers. So to do that, we're going to use the mutate function where we call the data and reassign and create the data right inside the same data and the same, another column, or sorry, the same data, the same column. We change it by using the mutate function as I mentioned. Here in the mutate function, we recode member casual, where member is now equal to subscriber, casual is now customer. So let's just run that code now and see how it goes down. Alright, so it also needs to take a few seconds, and let's wait for it. Yeah, now that the code has completed its run, let's view the data. If the recording was successful, we will see that the member casual is now displayed as subscriber. Yeah, so we now have subscriber customer. Fine, good. So now the next thing we will now like to take a look at is to inspect the structure of this data so that it can be perfectly aligned with other processings that we might have. Alright, so the structure shows that there is character, here is character, and so on and so forth. So we now have to convert ride length from factor to numeric. Alright, so to do that, you execute by using the isFactor bike data ride length, bike data ride length as numeric. Right, let me just run this before. Good, he said it is not a factor. Then however, we now need to run it so that it can be converted to a numeric variable. So we run it and still have to wait a few seconds for it to fully materialize. Nice. So from the notes on the data, we're told that there are some bad data which needs to be expunged, and this bad data emanated from the fact that some of the bikes were taken out for quality checks by maintenance guides, and on that note, the ride length was negative. This therefore necessitates the fact that we need to create a new version of this data that will not have those bad data. And to do that, we're creating a new data frame from the existing bike data 2021 to eliminate data sets, bearing in mind where the start station name was equal to HQHR, so that we discover that at that point some of the bike data were less than 0. This is what we are going to eliminate, and this is the line of code that we need to use, and let us execute it and see what happens. Right, so this will take a few minutes also to process. And guys, as I said earlier, if this is the first time you've encountered my videos, and of course if you're enjoying what you see, please subscribe to the channel. Now the data, new data set have been created, and we now need to run for the main business analysis is now going to commence, so that we should first run a descriptive analysis for the ride length, so that we can see what parameters we have got. So to do that, we use the summary function for bike data on the column called ride length. So when we run that column and we give it a few seconds, we will be having some results which will be popping up in a few seconds. So that has been done, and it's processing. We'll give it a few seconds to complete. Fine. Now we see that the minimum value is 0, the first quartile is 405 seconds, median is 720, and the mean is 1316 seconds of ride, while the third quartile is 1007, and as far as we know, the maximum ride is 3,356,659 seconds. Right, that's pretty much long ride by this particular user. Now we can do a little bit of comparison, where we will check the comparison between subscribers and customers in terms of their usage. First, let us check the means, so that we see from the business point of view which of these particular types of users provide us more profits. So let's run for mean. Now for mean, we wait a few seconds as we did earlier. We use the aggregate function, where the bike data remains where the data remains bike data 2021 version 2, and we are concerned about the ride length. This is appeared. This is plotted against using the tilde function as determined by the member casual. That means the user type kind of stuff. So now over here we have for customer, the mean for customer is 1,920.1327 seconds, while subscribers having 818 seconds. This tells you that people who are not registered with a company seem to make use of the bike or the bikes more. Then let's check median. For median, we will also see what the results are saying. Okay, remember for median, the same formula follows, except that you use the fund function, fund method, and you use median. Again, customers have the median usage of 958 seconds, while subscriber use 596. Then let's check the maximum. Maximum, we check at every point we discover between customer and user who brings in more profit, as it were, because the more a customer or the user uses the bike, the more money the company is likely to make. Alright, so I will also run the minimum here. While we're waiting for that, we'll take a look at customer. Maximum for customer is that 3,356,709 seconds, whereas subscriber makes use only maximum usage is 93,506 seconds. Right? So now we are waiting for the minimum values when we aggregate all of this stuff. See what the values are. Now, while we're still waiting for that figure to pop up, let us see the average ride each day for the average use of the bike ride time by each day for subscribers versus users. Now, the minimum value for both is equal. So we have zeros for that. Now, if you want to specify that, we could go back to this particular line of code and change it to, let's say, less than 1, maybe, so that we get the values that will pop up. But I will leave that to you as an assignment. Do perform it and let me know what the result you got, what result you got, and let me know in the comments section. Alright, so if we are now to see the average ride time by each day by subscriber, we are going to use aggregate rider length, bike data member casual, and on top of which we will add, that is plus, the day of the week column. So we run this, let us see what we will get. Guys, I am already enjoying this activity here, and I believe you are. And please show me some love by hitting the subscription button so that you can support this channel and I'll be able to continue to deliver content like this and will train you for free. Guys, this knowledge that I'm giving out for free right here on this channel is what people pay millions to acquire, and then they'll be able to make millions for me. Now let me expand this a little bit. You can see that we have customer, subscriber, and so on and so forth. So, but the display is a little bit unorganized. To make it more organized, we will run this code, which I have already written down here, which is ordering. Order it according to Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, all the way down to Saturday. So let me run this so that we can see how it will turn up. Nice. So let's wait for it. Let's wait for it to finish processing and be able to see how it goes. Alright, so as I was telling you, this type of knowledge is what gives a lot of people a lot of money. I myself have made so much money from this, and I think it's time for me to give back to society by teaching these skills right here on this channel for free. I'll continue to do that unrelentingly. So let's keep that in mind. Alright. Okay. So now that we have ordered the days of the week that is in this analysis, let's perform the application for the mean so that we can view what subscribers and customers are using. Alright, so we'll give it a few seconds. Let's see how it goes down. Right, fantastic. Let me open this a little bit more so that we can see more clearly. Now you can see that the whole thing is now arranged: Sunday, Saturday, customer data, and so on and so forth. Basically, at each turn, customers get to use the bike much more than subscribers. So if you are a business owner, you know how to make your bikes available and how that will impact your business. The next thing is, let us now see how the data works by bike type. Now we have bike type. Alright, and that is how we're going to now analyze this. To do that, you have the weekday equal to the due day function started at the label. Label is true. Group by member casual. Weekday. Summarize number of rides in n function. Then average duration is equal to mean ride length. Arrange member casual and weekday. This helps to sort the data. Let's run this and see what happens. Okay, we need a few seconds for that to also be completed. Alright, let's see how it goes. Let's see how it goes. Nice. The data is now displayed, and you can see that we're having what customer wrote on each of these, as well as the number of rides that they have. So here are the weekdays, here are the number of rides, here are the average duration. Again, at each turn, the customers seem to be consuming this service much more than subscribers. Alright, so there is now the next thing we need to do, which is important, and that is to visualize our data. To visualize the data, we're going to prepare a bar chart right now. And so let me go ahead now and minimize this so that you can see. To visualize this data, we are now going to visualize to check number of rides by rider type by month. So first we have the mutate function already performed, and which is over here. The next thing we just simply need to do now is to use the ggplot function, AES, where the x-axis is month, alright, with its month, and then the y function is number of rides. I mean, y-axis is number of rides. Then we fill with member casual. Then the labels, the title is a bar chart of number of rides. Let me just allow it to run so that while it's running we do the explanation. Alright, so we fill with member casual. Then to that we add the geometric columns where position is equal to Dodge. Then of course we already have the labels for the title. It is the bar chart of number of rides by rider type, and the x-axis is labeled monthly rides, as well as the y function is labeled number of rides. Then we close that with theme minimum. We need to give it a few seconds because that takes a bit of time for it to run through this type of a large data set, and the result is going to show over here on the right hand side of the screen, where you have plots. So this is an indication that it's still running, so we need to be patient. Ladies and gentlemen, this is what we have. Our data is still running, spinning and coming up. After that, we are now simply going to now create a count data frame, which will be an aggregation of byte data using the aggregate function, byte data 2021 version 2, write length, as it goes down to member casual, as well as adding the day of the week function using the form name. So we're interested in the names, and we'll create this data frame using this value code. Ladies and gentlemen, as I said earlier, if you are interested in practicing this by yourself, the link to my Google Drive where all of this data are stored is going to be included in the bio or the description of this video. Go over to it, download them first into your computer, and from there you can perform the analysis by yourself without requiring the help of anyone. Subscribe to this video and let us see wait a little bit for the visuals to come up. So as you can see, the bar chart of number of rides per rider type is displayed over here on the right hand side part of this screen and showing in the plots. Ladies and gentlemen, and for the counts data that I mentioned, you can just create the count data using this command code. When I run it now, the count data will prepare itself, and at the same time and write the the data frame for the count data. I'll write it in my device using this line of code, which is write.csv count file equal to, then you put in the file location where you want it stored and the name you want it to be. This is the name I want it to be. File visualize.csv. That will be saved. If I come over now to my device, I go to cyclic data, you will see that my visualized data has been created. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, for coming to this video and watching it till the end. Please subscribe, share this video, like this video, and leave me a comment about what you feel regarding this video. And as well, don't forget that the link to all the data and this particular script that I used can be found in the description of this video. Thank you very much. God bless you. Bye.